We're going to be talking about serving and serving in different ministries, as I serve in a ministry called Feeding Hands, which is located in Hillsboro, and it is a food pantry, and which their mission is to live out God's commandments, to care for the poor, and love and serve our neighbors in need.
And did you have anything to do with their move to Hillsboro?
No.
That's the real question.
So they started out in Somerville, and they just kept on moving closer to me.
Yeah.
So I just had to join.
Yeah.
So
Now, Feeding Hands is great. We've served with them before. I think one of our partners that we partner with as a Millington Baptist Church. And yeah, we love what they're doing. We love the support that they give to the communities. I've personally been there a few times, and Caleb's been there countless times. We've done videos for them. And I think it really just prompts this question of, why do we serve? Like, what's the point in it? Especially this time of the year where we become very consumerist, materialistic. And I think this is a great time of the year to start asking ourselves, what are our needs, and kind of decipher that, and then look at other people that don't have those. What do we do for them? So, yeah. Great topic. Great ministry.
Yeah, I think there's a great need for us to serve, like, locally, especially having places around you in your town, or even just like in your state, is a really great way to start. There are hundreds of people in need of the gospel just at your school. And I think it's important not to wait for like a trip or a place to travel to start evangelizing. That's definitely something that can be done so easily, just with your friends, the people at your lunch table, or anything else. So I would say to just start like that. Obviously focus on the fact that he's supplying our... Tim, you are so distracting with the friggin' signs. I thought he was pointing it at me.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was trying to get...
Oh, my gosh.
I'm
okay.
sorry. I was trying to...
I can't read and speak at the same time.
No, it was for...
okay,
Gina.
I'm restarting that.
Gina,
I'm restarting that point.
Can you try to center Johnny? Can you just move the camera so he's in the
Okay,
middle?
I'm restarting
the
that.
laughing son.
Come on, Maddie.
Okay. Can I...
Yeah, you're good. You're
Okay,
good.
okay.
Yeah.
So I just think there's... hold on. I think there's definitely a need to be serving locally as well. There's hundreds of people just at your school or in your town that are in need of the gospel, and it's a great way to evangelize, to start locally, not wait for a trip or traveling to go somewhere, to talk to people. And one thing that I've started to do is just write down a list of people who I think, like, sometimes I almost write off in prayers, because I'm like, these people are either like very rude to me or just like rude to other people, or they live a lifestyle that you think is almost just like not worth praying for, which I think is a really like disheartening concept, because we should be considering them in our prayers the most. They're the people who probably at that very moment your prayer is the very thing they need, but also your service is the very thing they need. If it's just someone to understand them, to listen to them, to give them things like that you have that maybe they don't or they need. They might be looking for you to show them God's glory in that moment.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think you want to find out how you can serve in the areas that God has placed you. So I think it's important to serve right now in your day-to-day life, whether that's in your home, that's at your school. How can you serve the people around you? And then you expand a little bit kind of locally. So I think Feeding Hands would be great. Market Street Missions, City Relief, those are, I would consider, kind of local ways to serve. And then I would also take another step or two further that I think are also very important. If you're able to serve domestically, maybe on a mission trip, and even internationally as well, because I think those are really important for yourself to see what the rest of the world is like, especially with us that live in Northeast America, modern day America.
Yeah.
Like we
Right.
just, like you go and you see homelessness in New York City, and it's hard, and by no means is that not a struggle for them. But I think when you go to like a third world country, it's like just a totally different level and kind of poverty that they have.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
think it's important to go to those and to really to serve people. And sometimes people are critical of trips and mission trips. I would disagree, because I think, like if we don't go to a certain country during the week in the summer, like no one else is going.
Right.
It's not like there's like all these other people trying to go there that week. Like if we don't go, no one
Yeah.
goes. So I think it's important to do mission trips, to step out your comfort zone, dedicate a whole week to it, in addition to Feeding Hands, to your
Right.
school.
Yeah.
So I think you should really have a diverse palette of serving opportunities
Yeah.
for the Lord, because it says in, I hope I don't steal your verse. It doesn't look like I'm going to. In Mark 10:45, for even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. So if we are following Jesus, we are carrying our cross. He's calling us to serve. And I was even just reading today when some came up to him and they were saying, you never loved me, Jesus said to them. He's like, well, we did this. Sorry, this is horrible. Bleh. I'm blanking. I just had a huge brain fart on that story. I just read it and now I'm completely blanking. We'll just pretend I never said that. Ransom for many. It's just a great verse to remember and ponder as we consider serving for the Lord.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot about how sometimes our service to him can almost become like self-centered, especially when we're serving, to say that we did it, or even to quote, like, show God that we did it, and just almost try and use it as a way to pay back our debt that we're already in. But I think that the more we serve him, the more we actually go further into debt, and have to recognize that his grace we're always going to be in debt to his grace. And the more we're given like his power to rely on, and the more we're given that grace, like as we serve him, we dive deeper into more reasons to be grateful, more reasons to be obedient. And those are all things that we can't repay him for. We can't, it's just a focus for us to glorify him with that purpose. And our service to him is mainly just to honor him and not to try and repay a debt that we will never in this life at all, or in the next life. So
Yeah, because like at schools, like they might have a like volunteer hours that you have to do to graduate or something. So like people do that so they can graduate. But in my case, I just decided to volunteer because why not? And it was close to me, and I enjoy and I love it, just seeing all the different people that come, because at Feeding Hands they have a unique pantry that no other pantry in the state almost has. So it's like unique, and it's just cool to see how God works through that pantry and just see the smiles on each and every person's face that walks through and that gets prayer with the different people there.
Caleb, what would be an encouragement to someone that isn't serving but has a desire to? Like, how would you direct someone to really plug in and start serving the Lord somewhere?
I would say just get started. It doesn't have to be at a food pantry. It doesn't have to be at a mission trip. It doesn't have to be like a traditional style serving. Because I think we have a mindset that we think it has to be something crazy or something that it's kind of just tops everything else. But you can just start at a lower level. You can start at your church. You can start at your community center. You can start at your neighbors, just mowing their lawn for free, or just doing something simple that serves others that might not know about God.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, you can't overlook the mundane moments, because a majority of your life are mundane moments that just add up.
yeah, and the more we do service, the more we serve his purpose. So whatever we're doing, no matter how big or how small, we're giving him the glory, and we're relying upon his power, which is the greatest thing we can do.
Yeah, we all have different gifts that God created and gave us for different purposes. So mine might be different than Johnny's, and that's okay. So that's just what it was done.
Yeah. Do we have a question here? You want to ask anybody?
I was going to leave us off on a little bit of encouragement, as you're saying, for people who might not be serving or people who want to start serving. Just remind yourself that he will supply us the power, he will supply us the grace to do the work, and we can get started in any way possible. The giver gets the glory and the servant gets the joy.